Luckily, it's not too windy out here. I'm kind of enclosed by 2 loading docks. So jumping into quote unquote the best sounding budget exhaust system. Jumping into cost, I spent close to $1,000 to achieve this exhaust setup and system. So kicking things off with just the muffler itself, I purchased an OEM muffler mod for $200. Once installed, I was able to sell the stock muffler from my car for $150. So net cost spent for the muffler is $50. The big ticket item is the X-Pipe / mid-pipe. So I really wanted the front-facing X, and there weren't really many used options available. So I opted for purchasing a brand new front X pipe / mid-pipe, and that was $900 shipped to my door. So all in, $950 spent to achieve this exhaust setup, not accounting for any labor. I did most of the work, but you'll see kind of, if you look at my channel, the other videos, the issues that I ran into. So number one, cost $950 to achieve this sound. One thing that I want to mention that I'm not factoring into the cost is the exhaust tips. I had purchased aftermarket exhaust tips, which were roughly $250, $280. So not factoring that into the cost of the exhaust system, just because they are purely cosmetic. So all in, to achieve the sound that I have on my vehicle, $950 spent. So highlighting a few key unique features about my exhaust setup, with the majority being attributed to the stock OEM muffler box. So I'll throw an image on the screen so it's not as confusing the way I explain it. But the stock muffler has quite a bit of research and development within it. It's so intricate, the design, where it has Helmholtz chambers on each side of the muffler. And then in the center would have been the perforated pipes with the sound deadening material and so forth. So with my exhaust system, and this is why I think there is no drone, is because I retain the Helmholtz chambers. So it's not like screaming at all RPMs, especially if you're at a steady RPM. Those Helmholtz chambers allows for resonance in the muffler to kind of dampen the noise. But if you're on full throttle, then the exhaust gases are able to evacuate immediately. So that is one key feature that I really, really like about having this setup, is not having any drone or resonance within the car. In addition to the Helmholtz chambers, just because I know the ACM setup is a straight pipe, even then, if you have the OEM back box, it retains a lot of sound deadening, let's say. Due to the overall size and just thickness of the muffler, I think it's just like in the way. So no matter how loud it is, it kind of baffles and absorbs a lot of the sound that would enter the cabin if you were to just go straight pipes, if that kind of makes sense. Think of it kind of as like a pillow in between where the exhaust gases exit and the car. So number two, that I think makes this a very unique sounding exhaust system, is the front X on the mid-pipe / X-pipe. I'll try to throw on a picture of when I was underneath the car, just so you guys can kind of see the placement of the X. In addition to that, it is quad resonated, just because I have past experiences hearing cars, friends' cars, when they did not have resonators or they opted to cut out the resonators. So these cars are very, very raspy. If you do not have resonators, it sounds pretty bad, unless you're in the super high RPMs where it's just screaming so loud. Especially prominent in DCT cars, if you have no resonators, every upshift, you'll hear like a loud, raspy upshift crackle. So to avoid that, definitely look into getting resonators, or if you have a valve setup, that will help. But ultimately, I will not recommend no resonators. I highly recommend having resonators, a minimum of 2 on your exhaust setup. Or you can go my route and go for 4. So overall, I am very, very satisfied and happy with my exhaust setup. I love that there is no drone. I love that it can be incognito and it can be quiet when needed. Stay at low RPMs, short shift it, and you're as quiet as stock. And if you want to be loud, just drop a gear and it'll scream all right. So I did want to talk about one thing I might change in the future. Since I do have quad resonators, there may be potential that I remove 2 of them. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to explore that first, or if I do want to try out another muffler option, it being a muffler option being ACM. So the ACM muffler mod is where it's a straight pipe through. It bypasses the Helmholtz chambers. It's basically a straight pipe. So if I'm not going to remove 2 resonators, I'll end up trying out the ACM muffler mod. And since that is an easily revertible mod, it's just swapping the mufflers. I think I might go down that path and route. I'm not sure yet. So for all you E9X owners, let me know what exhaust setup you guys have and what you think about your setup versus my setup.